Go.
Hello and welcome again. Take two. Welcome to Direct Mail Monday, January 16th, 2023. Steve Sipress here with the one and only Jeremy Dog Danley.
What's up, everybody?
So Direct Mail Monday, I just happen to have with me a newsletter from, we don't know it's a newsletter. It's an envelope with the return address, America's Best Bar Shows. America's Best Bar Shows. Who could have said that?
Some brilliant marketer of bar shows would be my only guess.
You know, don't you have a company called America's Best Bar Shows?
I know. I'm going to send them a cease and desist letter.
What a coincidence.
See what's going on.
And it happens to be addressed to Steve Sipress of the Rhino's Ass Lounge and Cafe.
Isn't that you?
I didn't even know that's the name of my business. That is, and therefore I'm going to use the Rhino's Ass letter opener, which actually it is. Who knew? I always called it the Rhino letter opener. Now I understand it's the Rhino's Ass
That's
letter
right. There it is.
for the Rhino's Ass Lounge and Cafe. So let's open this up. And yes, spoiler alert, since I get one of these every month, I do know this is in fact a newsletter. This, to those of you under the age of whatever, you're asking, what is a printed and mailed newsletter? What is that? What is with you? Don't you understand there's a thing called the internet? Don't you just send an e-zine?
Oh, what?
And send me a weekly email. It's free, it's easy, and it will come with my 200 emails a day, and I won't read it and I'll delete it, of course. But am I going to delete? Do I throw this out and delete it? Well, let's see. I'm guessing most people don't like it, and that is today's lesson on Direct Mail Monday is the power of a print newsletter. And look at this. It can be simple. It doesn't have to look like the New York Times or whatever. It's very simple. It's 2 pieces of paper with a staple that are printed front and back. Who can't do this? Anyone can do this. So in here, what are some of the elements of the newsletter, speaking of that people think they can't do it? So what's the first thing here?
So the first thing on here, we've got the headline, which is commemorating the first anniversary of the Pub and Grub comedy tour.
Okay, so this is a celebration of a milestone in his business. So that's pretty simple. So the name of the business here and all the contact information, return address information, the date, and then simply the lead story is a story about your business, the latest thing that's happening in your business. For Jared Dog, this time it's an old one, but at this time, because now it's over 2 years.
So we just celebrated our second anniversary. I'm very flattered that you waited over a year to open this.
I did, because it's in my people that
Show us how intriguing.
People that follow my Direct Mail Mondays know that I keep in a stack anything that looks cool I want to share, and then apparently I just kept stacking things on top, and it was way down there in the pile. So I'm really bummed that I never did open it, because I love reading your newsletter.
Well, and I think that's a good first lesson. Is number one, I should have put something on here that
Open
created
immediately.
urgency to open instead of
Time-sensitive information.
That's right.
Yeah. Or simply, here's the latest information, or act on this now, or something.
Something.
You gotta be careful and don't overpromise.
What's that
Hopefully
called? The teaser. There
The
should be a
teaser copy
on the envelope.
on the envelope to get it open.
That's
Right.
what
But
I'm
I
saying.
still wouldn't have opened it because I teach direct mail advertising and marketing. I want to
Sure.
go over it. I'm just saying I messed up. I put it in the pile, and evidently too much stuff got piled on top of it, and I haven't gotten to it
Yeah,
yet.
and I also made the mistake.
But here I am.
If someone knows me, that they'll just automatically open my letter, but clearly that's not the case.
See, there you go. You never know.
Can't just assume.
Well, happens. Let me ask you this: like the latest video that I posted, you're a client of mine. Like, how was that?
Well, I had fun watching it with you today.
That's true. The latest video I recorded with you yesterday. But how about the one I did last Tuesday, where I gave that great business tip?
Again, I had a lot of fun watching it with you today.
Yeah. See, so even your best clients, sometimes they're the ones that don't open your stuff or
Right.
read your stuff, because he knows he spent the whole day with me one-on-one here. So why does he have to just watch a video, right? So I'm like, I don't have to read the newsletter. I love reading the newsletter. I love checking out. I knew it was going to be so good. I put it in the pile. And again, I apologize, I didn't get it to it for a while, but here we are. So right there, it carries over to the second page. So basically the first 2 pages are a story about a current milestone in the business. Now this happens to be the 1-year anniversary of this aspect of the business, but it could be we're celebrating our 8 months of it, or we're celebrating I don't know, the 10th anniversary of the business, the 3.5-year anniversary.
We recently won an award, you could put that
It's
in
been
there.
6 months since we did this, it's 6 months since we expanded into this, new product came out, or the 3 month, you can come up with all kinds of milestones. And by the way, if it isn't milestones about the business, it could be milestones about, it could be your birthday, could be your anniversary, could be your kid's birthday, could be your dog's birthday. And the dog is 7 a year.
Sure.
Right? So but pick a milestone that makes it newsworthy, and there it is. That's half the newsletter already. 2 pages. We got a story about what's new. What's the next story? The profit-harming seeding gap. So now it's a tip.
That's right.
The next thing is a tip, because what Dog is well known for around the world is selling out venues for events, comedy, music, open mic night, darts league, whatever it is.
And I'll give you a quick tip on what the profit-harming seating gap is, where you don't have people up front, and those seats are empty, and now everybody sitting behind those sees these empty seats, and then later on, to try to sell a ticket and get people to buy quick, how are you going to create urgency when the people that were just at the last event saw that there's plenty of empty seats up front? If you're going to have empty seats, put them in the back. Better yet, put out less seats until demand requires it, and bring out a new one as the new people enter the venue, like Goodfellas, and march the table down and plug the light in and make a show out of it.
Oh my goodness, we have so many. We have both. Well, you do it for a living. I do it for a living. I host over 600 events for entrepreneurs, and my beautiful wife knows when we're setting up the room. My beautiful wife Michelle right now is holding the iPhone and taking this video, and you know that, like, if we expect 80 people to show up, we put 60 seats. We tell the hotel says, well, you said 80 are coming. We put 80. No. Take 20 of these seats, put them back in the hall, just in case only 60 people come. But as soon as 61, 62, we make a big show.
Sure.
Oh, we need more seats. Get on here. This is so popular. So there you go.
Good reason to get your tickets early.
Do not have that profit-harming seating gap. So you're basically giving that tip over the next. That's it.
Well, the next component I want to show is the sidebars.
Okay, we'll get to that, but I'm just saying that's it. That's the meat of the newsletter, is something about the business, something a tip, and then talk soon, Dog, and the PSs with what they can get for you, whatever. That's the meat of the newsletter. And then yes, you might have noticed, you've seen that there is this along the side information. So what do we have on the front page?
On the side I have schedule of events.
So these are your upcoming comedy shows.
So this is not put in here expecting the clients that are the recipients of this newsletter are going to attend these events. These are put on here as a demonstration of social proof that there are other similar places like yours. You're not the only one. You're part of a collection of other smart
right, and you're not a fool to book him, because look how popular
all these other smart bar owners.
Now I see some people do this, and they will put, like, no events this month, no event. Don't do that. Just don't put it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say, like, I'm so unpopular that I have no events this month. Then who wants to book you?
That's right.
People want to. It's like dating. It's like people want the cheerleader or the president or the football captain.
Right.
They want the popular person is more popular.
That's
the one
right.
that goes, I'm lonely, I never get a date. No one wants to date.
That's
so
right.
No one wants to book a comedian that isn't booked.
That's right.
Everyone wants to get someone who's
or
booked. So
work with a company no one else is working
October
with.
15th, October 16th, another show October 16th, then October 18th.
Right. So this shows that we have multiple teams going to multiple locations, even on the same day.
Oh, so this isn't you. This is your.
This is the
tour.
This is the tour.
Yeah.
So if that were me, I would be violating the rule of working in the business instead of on the business. meetings. That would be me going to all those dates instead of here having intelligent.
That was a leading
conversation.
question. I know you. Well, when we first met, though,
That is what the case
that was you.
That's right.
It was you alone on the road, away from the family, driving 8 hours to the venue. Sometimes they cancel the event.
That's right.
What happened?
Burned out, stressed out, pissed off,
And broke.
and
Well,
broke.
not broke, but not getting paid
But
enough.
close,
And they were like,
very close.
"Hey, now look at this. None of these is you,
Right.
but you're making money from every one.
That's right.
That's it.
I found it very
We like
nice.
that. Very nice. All right. Next thing on the sidebar, it takes a page and a half, by the way, for all those events in a month. And the next thing is the top 10 rules to sold out shows. So it's another tip. So we had the main tip here, the profit, harmony, seating gap. Now we have the top 10 rules to sold out shows.
And this is a section that is on every single newsletter. This does not, this is
The
like.
same rules?
The same rules. It's like
I
the
like
10
it.
Commandments. The 10 Commandments don't change. They're always in the Bible, whatever it is. This is the Bible of show, the 10 Commandments of show that it's going to be in every single newsletter, because if you didn't open this one, you didn't open it,
You
then it would still be in the
get
next one.
blasted
So you
in your
still get
face.
the top 10 rules of
As if Moses brought them down from the mountain.
That's right.
And so,
And engraved it on a piece of yellow.
and wrote them on yellow rocks. What's that?
Tablets.
Tablets. And so,
Stone.
what? Are we running out of film? Is the next show?
no.
Like, I gotta hand over the mic, like, I'm going all night with this stuff. Like, I can tell bad jokes all night, and you can actually make people laugh. But of course, he's not working right now, so I'm not gonna make him do that. Anyway, and so, but here's the thing, I'm just thinking now, you are the, and I always think that every time I got one, that it is comedy, but you didn't do the old David Letterman, like, you start with number 10? The old top 10 list, and he would go like 10, 9, 8.
Yeah, well, it's not a countdown to the best.
Right.
It's,
It's serious.
That's right.
That's not comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
These are the top 10 rules.
That's right. Have
This
fun
is-
with it.
That's not the comedy.
Yeah.
This is comedy, though. Now, here's a comic.
Yes.
This is an actual. Oh, this is a bio of one of your
This is a
touring comedians.
Yeah, that's right. So this is a buy. This is like the
So the
comedian
next-
of the month.
Sidebar here. So what he's really doing, it's a 2-column newsletter, but there's one real main one. But then he's not having blank space or making it look pretty. Notice how it's not like, if you got this to a magazine or a newsletter designer, they would vomit like they do all the time. Mine goes, no, you can't just have, just text. You've got to have a nice photo here and different fonts and different and yellow paper is good, and it will be blue paper and green paper. No, yeah, I can. Mm-hmm. But you're always going to have a bio meet one of the comics.
That's right. And then with the actual comic with jokes in it.
A comic type, photo, he's telling some jokes, and then here's the bio about him, and then for booking info, go to barcomedyyusa.com or call or text number, so you have the call to action there. And then you have trivia. Boom, 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 boom. Answer found on the next page. Great device to get them. It's called an involvement device. It gets me to turn the page. If I thought, I've read enough, but damn, I gotta find out the answer now. I gotta turn the page.
Here's what you could do for your live video. Ask that trivia question, and anybody that knows the answer, put it in the comments below.
This is why it's always good to have somebody smarter than you on your video. Okay, so anyone now watching this, reading it, listening, wherever you're getting this, can you answer the question, for all the fame and glory in the world, what name appears on Fogel's fake ID in the 2007 movie Superbad? What name appears on Fogel's fake ID in the 2007 movie Superbad? And so I will flip to the next page for the answer, but you, of course, right now are going to a search engine for the answer.
Leave the
But
answer in
otherwise,
the comments below.
it's on the honor system. If you know it without going to a search engine, way to go. And if they did that, in your case, what would they win?
The bragging rights.
Right, they would be happy.
Yeah.
So that's another point. You don't have to give away a prize or award it, but people like those kind of involvement things, a crossword puzzle, a trivia question, something that gets them involved. That's how simple your newsletter can be. And then the last page, the sidebar, is what? a testimonial. Simple as that. It's from Seth Gebauer, G. Bauer from the Sandbar and Grill in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin.
Shout out to.
Which says, I've been running a comedy show at my bar for 6 years now, and I've always had great success and awesome comedians with the Pub and Rub Comedy Tour. They are always there to support us with promotions and material. Boom. So this doesn't just go out to paying clients, this also goes out to prospects.
This also goes out to prospects.
And so now if they say they're on the fence and I don't know, should I book him? Can I trust him? Will he be there to help and promote? Well, I can call up Seth right now and go, is that BS? Or is that for real? And he's likely to tell me, no, that's straight out.
That's
for 6 years.
And
He's been filling my place, and they always take care of us and support us.
That's right, and most people won't call, but leaving the number shows that you got the balls to let them know they could call, and just leaving that there, chances are they won't, but because you put that on there, it's kind of like a challenge. Then they're like, well, it must be true because he's saying to go ahead and call. I don't need to because if he wouldn't have put that number to call, if it was going to be.
I love it. And
What could make it better?
Well, I was going to say, the last thing is we have the second most, speaking of trivia, well, it's very important, but it might be unknown to many of you as a viewer, it might be unknown to you, but the second most read part of any letter or email or a newsletter in this case is the PS. So always include a PS. The first most read thing is, of course, the main headline. But the PS, a lot of people go, what? 4 pages? I'm not going to read all that. Let's just go right to the PS. So what you do in the PS is you simply repeat what you wrote in the whole thing. And now, if they were intrigued by that one sentence you wrote, they might go back and go, oh, well then now I'll go read the 6 paragraphs about it. Because that is interesting. So PS, now is the time to get a comedian booked for New Year's Eve. If that's something you want to do, give me a call or text. Okay, so my suggestion for one is, this is in a script font, difficult to read.
Okay.
You just saw it. I just tripped all over it.
Yeah.
So I would suggest where it looks good, it does break it up, it's a different font, but it's very important. This PS, again, is the second most read thing. If you're going to mess around with script font or whatever, put it in the testimonial, or put it in the bio, put in something less important. Like here, this headline on the trivia is a script font that's good. It's a lot less important than you want to book a show. Like,
right.
Don't make me go like, wait, now is the time to what? Because here we'll read, and the number is in script.
Right.
That's difficult. Is it 575, 595, 210 or 270? What? You don't want to put this in script.
Right.
This is the call to action. This is the money. Right. So you're mailing out this newsletter for a few reasons. Number one, you're maintaining and building a relationship. Right. You've heard the saying, the fortune's in the follow-up. So someone that contacted you, but maybe they never bought from you yet, but every month now they get a newsletter. Which, by the way, what's the cost of this? 2 pieces of paper and an envelope and a stamp. I mean, maybe $1 a month. So it's $12 a year to get in front of them. Whatever you're selling, if it's worth more than $12, and you could mail a newsletter for a whole year and they buy, you're making money. I mean, you almost can't lose money doing a newsletter unless you really do it wrong. But so here's the prospect getting this one. Now I'm thinking, make it easy. That's a general. Make it as easy as possible for someone to buy from you. And having a script font could be difficult for somebody old like me, who I don't have my glasses, and I'm like, tough to read. Like, so then, PPS, second PS. And if you want help filling any of your ticketed entertainment events, we are now offering the event expander pack to help you pack the house no matter what the event is or who the performer is. Okay, so I think I read that all correctly, but it took me a while.
Again, the script.
Whereas reading this sentence, we have exciting stuff planned for the future of the Pub and Grill Comedy Tour and all the nightclubs, taverns, and neighborhood bars in our circus, and we're grateful to have your support. I can read all this. This was tough.
Right.
Now I will say, advanced, sometimes you want it tougher to read. That's an involvement device. Now I got to look at it. I got to read it 2 or 3 times. I still say they'll call, especially
don't risk
numbers,
the call to action.
Numbers and script, depending on the font.
Yeah.
I could mess this up. or a URL in script,
Right.
you know that in script, URLs, website addresses are unforgiving. You get one letter wrong, I don't get to your website.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a home address. Sometimes I get mail at my home address, they spelled my name wrong, they spelled the street name wrong. My mailman,
Yeah.
I still get it.
Yeah.
You put one letter wrong in an email address or a website address,
Right.
they go, what? There's no such thing. It bounces. It doesn't come back.
And then how do they know which letter was wrong and not
I'd be
wrong?
real careful
Yeah.
with the script on the phone number. This whole thing, I wouldn't put in script.
Yeah, got it.
That's just.
Yeah.
But
Good
it's
point.
like your signature. That can be as scribbled as you want. And any of this we are said can be like this is tough to read. This is small and tough to read. The joke bubbles coming from the comedian's mouth. Okay, but those aren't super important to making money. In fact, that's a good place to have involvement. Now I really gotta squint, get a magnifying glass. I gotta really be excited and interested to read that. But you want to make it real easy, like you did here. That's plain text.
Right.
Call. It's 515. See? It's 5. I know that. That's your number. It's 515. You know, when I think about it, I seriously thought that was 575. What a dork. Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, but it goes to your point. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what you should do because
And barcomedyusa.com, call or text 515-423-0141. That's so clear and fast and easy. And you do have the same number here. And I still didn't know it's the same number. I had to read it 2-3 times. It's 423-0141, but it really looks like 0747.
right.
Or maybe it's 0797. What tougher to read. That's it. We could go on and on and on. And if I read the whole thing, we go on. But the main point is, just do it. You could do it, and you don't have to be a good writer. You're just writing about what happened in your business. Maybe it's something you went on vacation now. You're just going to put a couple of photos of your kids or your dog or something. Just have a conversation with your prospects, your customers, clients, patients, members, and mail it out to them. Because how many times have you gotten an email, a long email, maybe an e-zine or a newsletter, and you said, wow, that looks interesting to read. Do you really print it out and read it? Because it's tough to read on the phone or the computer. Mm-hmm. So maybe you print it out for them and mail it to them. And so now when I curl up in front of the fireplace a little, I can take this out and read it. When I'm sitting out by the pool, I can read it. When I'm waiting in line at the bank, I can take a few newsletters, print it out, and I can read them there. Like, it has pass-around value, it's called.
That's right.
I can say, this is cool, honey, check this out. Instead of forwarding an email and like, hey, did you look at did your phone? Yeah, I deleted that, I didn't want to. But this, I can leave it on if I had a business, I could leave it in my office on the table. This was interesting. Or, we used to do that, right? You used to mail, I said we. You used to have your comic book newsletter.
That's right.
That you would mail to the bars. And they put them on the bar for the patrons to read about all the upcoming shows. Mm-hmm. I remember back then suggesting that you would have it laminated.
That's right. So when it gets
because it's going to get wet. That's
right.
So you either had to send them 20 copies, or just send them the 3 or 4 copies laminated. And they loved that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
so
the slicky. The slicky style paper. So what you had your brochure.
Glossy.
The glossy.
Yeah. Slicky. So I didn't even know the terminology. The slicky. It threw me there.
That might have been something I just made up.
I knew the commercial when I was a kid, just to date myself. The slinky, something that's fun for girls and boys. Slinky, the world's favorite toy, something like that. But what do you call it? The
slicky.
The slicky.
Slicky style.
Slicky idea. See, you learn something every direct mail number. So anything else?
One other thing I would add to this, talking about the involvement piece, is that, maybe even here there's more blank spot. I could have put a game.
Good point.
I could have put a fill in the words.
Blank space never sold anything. He could put 2-3 testimonials, could put another joke, could put another trivia question, but blank space never sold anything, folks. Put some in there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just gonna slap you on the hand for that little high five. Some blank space. You called it out on yourself.
That's right.
Otherwise, there's not. We're filling this thing up with small type. We're getting a lot in here. This could have been if somebody really said, "Oh, I'm a professional layout person," they would have put this in 14-point type. This is like 9-point type. Mm-hmm. They would have put this in. Nice 14-point type, lots of photos. This would be 8 pages, 16 pages, cost you double to mail. people wouldn't, by the way, another device, by doing it ugly like this, not having, people believe this is good information. If you don't draw them in with fancy images or whatever, they have more respect. They believe this is like a textbook, in other words. This must be, or an encyclopedia, this must be solid information. Makes it, you're sending that message. This is information-packed stuff. I'm not sending you fluff. It's just 2 pieces of paper stapled together. The simplest thing in the world. And let me just guess, when you first started mailing a newsletter, was it just 1 page?
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Maybe even 1 page with nothing on the back. And then it became 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then it became 4. So just get started. Just send out 1 page. And in fact, when you're getting started, you might put 14-point type so even less words fill up the page. But if all you do is say, here's the latest thing happening in the business, and here's how to book us, and here's the upcoming whatever, and that's it, and mail that thing out. Because it comes in an envelope, it comes on paper, I'm much more likely to value it, to read it, to save it.
And no one else is really showing up in the mailbox like this. They're showing up in the email,
And you set,
showing up in the social
brilliant,
media.
and you set yourself off from any of your competitors because they are all doing the, yeah, but email is free. Email is easy. I click a button. I send it out. People like emails. They want, your mailbox is empty. My mailbox is empty. Get in their mailbox. Get in their hands in physical form. You cannot beat it. And that's why we're here on Direct Mail Monday. Anything else before we close up?
I just want to say I appreciate all your help and wisdom. It was a great mastermind weekend and a fun one-on-one day today.
I shouldn't have asked that. It's not about me. It's not about me, but I do appreciate that. And believe me, you've heard the saying, the teacher always learns more than the student. So you don't know how much I appreciate you being a client and you spending the day here and letting me have some insight into your next 7-figure opportunity that we mapped out today.
That's right.
That
I'm stoked.
we both, I know for sure, is going to be bigger than everything you've done up to now all put together. It's going to be huge.
Mm-hmm.
And as you put together, which I know you'll do very quickly, what we talked about, then all my connections come into place, and I'm going to get you to here, to there, to here, to there, to this venue, to this promoter, to this podcast, to this. We're going to blow this thing up.
Yeah, that's right. And just like the newsletter, instead of waiting for the perfect pieces to be in play, I'm just going to get rocking and rolling. We'll see what happens.
Money loves speed.
As we go.
Good is better than not done at all.
Mm-hmm.
Never going to be perfect. We're just going to get it out there and get it done, and then we'll approve. And then we'll add this. We talked about that right here. Like how many of this we're going to start with one. Then we'll add this. We'll add that. But let's get it going. Boom.
That's right.
Let's make it happen. So next time we talk, you're going to know that what we discussed today and mapped out with Jared is going to be happening and making him money. And speaking of making money, by the way, while you were here at the mastermind and on your way over here for the day with me, you sent me a text message this morning. What did it say?
3 new leads coming.
3 new leads. While you're not working at all.
That's right. While I'm out masterminding with
And the leads go into an automated system that follows up and talks to them and explains things and gives them a promotion and a deal with it, and they buy.
Yeah, and one of the leads is actually less of a lead and more of a win-back client that's saying, hey, we need to get going with you again, in a large part because they got my most recent newsletter.
I could not. That's exactly how I scripted it out. It all comes around. Thank you for being here on Direct Mail Monday. Thank you for being here on Direct Mail Monday.
And thank you, Michelle, for filming.
And thank
You
my
bet.
beautiful wife Michelle for being the camera woman with the mostest.
Bear with me.
Is that not wrong? But she was this weekend the hostess with the mostest.
It was my pleasure.
Thand you, my beautiful wife Michelle. Thank you to Jared Dog.
Thanks,
Thank
Jared
you
Dog.
for being here
Thanks,
today
Steve.
live or watching on the replay, and I will catch you back here tomorrow on Topical Tuesday. Over and out for now, and wish you were here.